The scrap bin, a common friend or foe of workshops all over the world. This week, we're going to see if we can turn or take scrap, specifically from our Barstool Commission from last week, a video that I'll link in the description below if you haven't already checked out, and turn it into something beautiful, something functional, something usable, something more than a scrap. Let's do it. In the US alone, 300 million tons of scrap wood are produced a year. It's estimated of that 300 million, 12 million tons goes to landfill alone. This includes everything from throwing away old coffee tables, pallets, and packaging from shipping goods overseas. But when any items of wood are no longer needed or serve the purpose, they become waste. Firstly, this whole design was built on the fly. Just kind of an idea that came to me. There was no pre-planning. There never is, really. I've not quite mastered that skill, so if you do have any tips, then please share them with me, because that's something I need to work on. I just haven't quite got it down yet. So you're going to see me roughing out some shapes and sizes with my number 4 Stanley hand plane to get things started.
Note yourself make your bench more sturdy, bro.
Hey, sorry about the dodgy, fuzzy camera at the minute. That should be getting fixed anytime soon. Bear with me. Literally just about now. Anyone had a guess yet what it is? We've kind of got a rough shape now, so we're getting somewhere. But let's move to another tool and take this to the next step. Here I'm just taking some time to rough out some patterns on the piece and get some guidelines set in so I know what I'm doing. stop there before we go any further. I thought now would be a good time to say, if you haven't already guessed, we're going to have a go at some power carving. Now, these two that I made previously, this one is nothing but a groove, some edge details, and some oil to finish. So minimal tools needed to do this. If you want to have a go, keep the design basic. It doesn't even have to be this shape, but that's that. This one, yes, a little bit more in depth, but literally it's India ink that's covered it. I taped this piece up, left that exposed wood, done some patterns and grain styling stuff on here with various bits and pieces that I've had lying about, and yeah, then finished it in like a clear coat. Finished it in a clear coat. So again, a little bit more advanced, but you do not need a lot. So after that complete shambles of a presentation of what I was about to do, let's get into the fun stuff and start carving out some shapes. As you can see here, I'm using a cut saw disc, which is a very medium fine grinding disc. Probably one of my favorites, because if you was going to buy one, I'd say this is the one. It does all sorts of different timbers and applications while still just being the one disc. But if you do have a die grinder or a Dremel, this would be perfect for a task of this size. I think the grinder's a little bit too big, but you live and learn. Again, just using the guidelines that I've roughed in to keep my grinding to a minimum and not go too far over where I intended to. And then I'll come back up with 80 grit sandpaper and smooth it out. Again, there's another little freestyle add-on to the build. I didn't really like how this back was looking from what I'd done so far, so I set a point, measured back from the end, and just put some sort of beveled, tapered cuts on the end of this, just to give it some more visual, nice lines and shapes. So after the general cleanup and sanding process, I like to get out my little Lanes plane. Lanes being the people who made it. I don't know too much about the origin of the plane. It's very small. I paid a matter of, if I said it was £3 or £4 for it at a car boot sale, but it's perfect. It's sharpened up, put a brand new edge on, and it's perfect for little things like this. tip for the week, guys. Get a top tip thing for your CA glue, because this just made this job a hell of a lot easier. You can see I'm just putting it on there. This is O3A's activator and dye black spray glue, which is similar to the resin, or doing a similar job to what you'd use for the resin, but you can spray the activator on and have it going off within seconds, so you can just carry on getting on with your product. As you can see here, for filling fine cracks, that top tip is spot on. So yeah, grab yourself some CA glue, man, or some spray glue if you're English, and give it a try, because it's a really good product. If you've made it this far and you're now sat there thinking, what the hell is that? And so am I. But if you'd already guessed it's an incense burner, then give yourself a pat on the back, because I'll tell you what, it don't look like one. But look, this was the point of the project. It was scrap wood, it was never getting used, it might have gone to waste, it could have ended up in the fireplace, who knows? But just pick some scrap wood up and make something. Doesn't have to be the best piece you've ever made, doesn't have to be for anybody but you. Practice something you've never tried. Who knows, you might just create something you love. Stick around to the end and I'll give you the final shots and the other designs I've come up with, and maybe you can take something from them too. Three different versions of an incense burner made from scraps that I was only going to chuck away. Some of the hundreds and millions of tons of scrap wood that goes to waste every year is due to aging and defects, but mostly not seeing a purpose or a vision for the material. Not here though. Here we do our best to negate these factors, especially the lack of purpose and vision for the material. According to Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher, the sense of beauty is itself transient in nature. So a thing beautiful for one might not be beautiful for the other. In other words, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And that's what I plan to do. Put beauty back in the eye of the beholder.